Welcome to Financially Savvy in 20 Minutes, a podcast hosted by investor, speaker, and award-winning author Natalie Torres Haddad. Natalie will share the tips and tricks of money management, as well as the story of self-made millionaires who have attained financial freedom.
Everybody I didn't directly affect, I indirectly affected.
Oh, yeah.
And I can relate to that because I was indirectly affected by another gentleman.
Oh.
When I was 17, 18 years old, there was a club in LA called the Total Experience, okay? And that's where all the acts came to perform. And I knew who the owner was, but I was 18 years old. He didn't know me. He didn't care to meet me.
Right.
Why did he want to meet me? But I watched him.
Ah.
I watched him get out of his white Rolls Royce and walk into his club.
Wow. What impression that must have been on you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay, I watched him get into his white Rolls Royce, walk into his club, shake his security guard's hands, and, then they play his music that he just recorded in his studio at Total Experience Studio. So I'm influenced by this.
Yes.
And one of my things that I tell people all the time, when I hear an artist or a business person or anybody that's in the limelight say they're not a role model, I tell them that's a lie. That's a lie. You may not want to be a role model, but you are.
Someone. You're right. You were exposed to someone that you saw him coming out of obviously an expensive car. You become all of a sudden connected with that, and you become a ripple effect for the next generation.
Exactly. And I tell people the same thing with music. If you see somebody being successful in the music game based on their imagery, people will emulate that, okay? Thinking that's the key to success.
Yes.
And that's why I tell people, being a role model is a byproduct just like of success, just like smoke is a byproduct of fire. You will not get fire without smoke.
Right.
You always get fire with smoke. So anytime there's a person that has anything that has any kind of notoriety to it, or a teacher, a successful teacher, oh, Miss Haddad is so nice. She is so beautiful. She's doing this, she's doing that. I want to be like that. You may not even know this kid. This could be a regular quiet student that's just watching you, okay? Yes. And I've had so many people tell me this over the years. I've been watching you for 30 years, man. I wish have been, dude.
And you would have never known.
You never know.
That's the powerful impact you have on what you do, what you love, and do something well with it. You mentioned early on, you said you had options. And for those that are listening to this podcast, they're trying to maybe come up with their own option, right? Maybe not the 9-to-5 job working for someone else, but creating something, which you've created so many different avenues, which we'll get to shortly. But I think one thing when you said options, the first thing that comes to my head was, what was that check that changed your mind on how you earn it? Whether it most likely was not just the entrepreneurial spirit, but it was that check that made you think, you know what, working for someone else may not ever get this amount of money for me. And I like the smile on your face. I could see you already there.
It wasn't a check for me.
Okay, what was it?
It was cash.
Cash. Thank you. What was that amount of cash that you felt?
It was cash. I'm 20 years old. I have a job. Mm-hmm. My job, on a regular week, I would bring home $167.
Wow, and this was back when?
1978, 78.
Okay.
40 hours a week.
Wow.
After taxes, I would bring home $167 a week. I would go out and DJ Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, and sometimes on Saturday I'd do 2 gigs. Mm-hmm. I'd do a wedding reception or something like that in the daytime. At nighttime, I'd go home, take me a quick nap, and go do another party. So if I'm getting $150 a night, a gig, okay, I'm $150 on Friday.
Wow. By
Saturday morning, I'm $300. By Saturday evening, I'm $450. By Sunday, I'm $600.
Yes.
Wait.
And that's in less than 3 days, and it wasn't 8-hour shifts.
No. Okay. Wait. I just made $600 for 3 days work. But I'm making $100. In fact, I'm making what I make in a one gig, I make in a week.
Yes.
Minus $17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm like, wait a minute. This don't make no sense.
It's an eye opener, right?
It's really an eye opener. I'm like, this don't make no sense. You got me tied up going to all these meetings, got to stay awake on these phones. And I kept the job for a while, only because I wanted to build my record catalog. I was working for a record distributor.
So that leads me to my second question. First off, that is amazing to hear. $600 in less than 3 days and possibly a total maybe less than 15 hours, as opposed to your 40-hour work week making 120.
Right.
The second thing you just mentioned was working while you were building your business functionally. What is that advice you're giving those that are thinking to take that leap to do their side hustle as well as becoming an entrepreneur but working? What can
My dad always told me a man needs at least 2 sources of income. You need a job and you need a hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And your hustle could become your business like mine did. Once your hustle exceeds your job 4 to 5 times, it's time to go.
There you go.
So if you're making $25,000 a year on your job and your hustle is making you 75 to 100, it's time to focus on the hustle. Because now if you're getting 65 to 70,000, 100,000 part-time, okay, imagine if you dedicated more time to it, okay?
Yeah.
So the job gives you the security, okay?
The false security.
The false security of going there, sitting there, 2 weeks to get a check.
Right.
Okay. And you know it's gonna come. But once you focus and learn to get consistency in your hustle, then you'd be surprised at how much faster that little money you thought you was making at the job, it won't be nothing.
And I think that's so important. It's key what you're just saying is that side hustle, which basically your side business that becomes the main earner. For you, how many years did you say you were working for this company, which obviously sounds like was in your related field, right? Which is really smart.
It was a plan.
Most people don't do that.
It was a plan. It was. I made the initial contact with the record distributor trying to buy records wholesale. At this time, you had to have 2 records. You had to have 2 12 inches, one for each turntable. So everything I bought, I had to buy 2 of. So they're like $6 a piece. So it's $12 for 2 records. And I'm trying to figure out, I know they only cost like 3 wholesale. And I tried to buy them wholesale. He wouldn't sell them to me wholesale. So the guy offered me a job. I wouldn't take the job initially because I had a good job already with special arrangements to get off early on Fridays and Saturdays.
I see.
Okay. So I got off on Fridays and Saturdays. I worked a 10 to 6 shift. So I got off at 6 o'clock. I had time to go home, load my truck up, go to my gigs. I didn't want to mess that up.
Right.
That was important to me. Okay. And I turned my buddy onto the job. Once he got the job, later on, a few weeks later, they had a job in the warehouse, offer in the warehouse that I could do in the daytime or part-time and still keep my same hours. So I was working part-time. Then they offered me a full-time job, which was even better because they closed at 5 o'clock every day.
There you go.
And so once I realized I was making more money at my hustle than my job, I would take the hustle money and just buy records with it. So
you're reinvesting it into your business.
I wouldn't even take a check. I would go in the warehouse, pull my records that I needed for that weekend, give them to the lady in the payroll department. She would deduct it from my check, and she would give me the balance. And she would be so. She said, "How do you live on $15?"
It's the budget. The budget you're putting yourself. That's awesome.
I said, I do okay. Don't worry about it. But my problem was, and I think this is what kind of got me in trouble, is at that time I was 21 years old, and I'm dressing real nice. I got it's a 1978. I got a 1976 truck. Okay, it's a basic truck, but it had rims on it, and it looked like I was balling out of control. Okay. And they couldn't figure out how is this guy making $15, $20 a week. And he got a van, he always dressed nice. What's he doing? Mm-hmm. So rumors started, they may have thought I was stealing. They wasn't sure, but they knew I had something else going on other than their employment.
Right.
And when it came around to start laying people off, I was the first one to go.
Oh, but luckily for you, you had something backed up and you were doing well.
I had something backed up. I was good to go, and 2 weeks later, I opened the club up. That was my last job.
Wow.
1979, that was my last job.
You just hit another point that I know people that are listening to is thinking, What can you tell me so I don't make those mistakes that you just said? I wish I would have done something a little different. I think that's so key because you were making good money. And I think being so young, especially you're probably making more money than your parents ever did at that any age or right. And so what things helped you and what tips would you say maybe I wish I would have done this differently?
First thing, stay away from the flash.
And what's the flash for those?
The flash is the jewelry,
yes,
the fancy clothes. Today, the flash would be the tennis shoes,
yes,
the extravagant wardrobe, especially when you're trying to hustle.
Especially in Los Angeles, right? This is such a scene.
People get real jealous of you real quick, and a little bit what I experienced was a little bit of jealousy because I'm doing good. I'm a salesman. Yes. I'm an okay salesman. I'm not raking in a big commission. Okay, I don't think I ever got a commission check.
Yeah.
But sometimes people see you doing good, and they'll sometimes people just try to knock you off your pedestal.
The haters, right?
The haters.
Yes.
The haters. Okay. Yes. You have to have some haters, but haters should not be your focus. They should be your fuel.
Yes.
Okay. They should always be your fuel. Just I'm gonna show you, and I did. Okay.
Right.
My next thing I probably would have done different. I don't know what else I could have done different.
Well, maybe that's what you learn, right, from the things that you did well.
I had mentors.
So let's talk about that. What mentors?
My dad was number one.
Okay.
He was my first investor. He bought me 2 turntables.
There you go.
That's
Thanks,
one of them sitting right over there.
Yes.
He bought me 2 He loaned me the money to buy 2 turntables, and when he bought those 2 turntables, I bought my own mixer, and he took me to a music shop that had equipment for rent. It was basically band equipment, but I used it to get what I had to do.
Wow.
And I learned at an early age, don't worry about what you don't have. Focus on what you do have.
Yes.
Okay? I did have the skills to be a good DJ. I did have the turntables. No, I didn't have a real disco mixer like everybody had. In fact, back then, they only had 2 disco mixers. One was $600, which might as well cost $1,000 as far as I was concerned. And another one that cost $129, which I bought that on credit, and it still cost me a year to pay it off, and it was $15 a month.
Wow.
But the interest was so high.
Right.
I know about interest.
See, that's something, right? We talk about the financial literacy side that people miss out on that. But you said, hey, you knew what you had, and you built on it, right?
I knew what I had. I had a truck to get me to the gig. I had speakers, people in here, and I had records, and I had the basics.
Yes.
But but in order for that to work, you got to go get the gig.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go get the gig.
So for those that are afraid of, like you said, going to get the gig, what did you do? I mean, obviously someone wasn't knocking at your door saying, hey, I want you to be a DJ for me. What were you doing that was different than other people that said they want to be a DJ, but they didn't have any gigs?
Natalie, one of my friends owned a print shop. And what I would do, I would go through his orders, see who was getting married, see who had a birthday party, see who was doing whatever.
So you did the cold calling.
You
did everything.
How you doing? My name is Alonzo Williams. I see you getting married on June the 3rd. Do you have a DJ booked yet? No, we don't.
Perfect timing. How'd you
How
go?
How much do you charge? I charge sometimes it'd be $100. Yeah. I charge $150. Oh, we don't have that much in our budget. Well, what do you have? I'm available that day. Maybe we can work something out. Okay. Well, we're right here in Gardena. Okay, no problem. I can do it for $100. And people have to understand, especially when you're trying to build a business, you have to be flexible.
Yes.
I'm cold calling.
Yes.
So usually once I get a gig, I get another 1 or 2.
Right.
Okay. And even today, I am not as active as I used to be, but because I cater to old school clientele, every time I get a gig, I get 1 or 2 more.
There you go, because they're referring you. They know your style. They know your quality. But you made being that initial salesperson. You had to wear all these multiple hats, right?
Yes, you have to be your own. You have to be your own marketer. And today, the marketing. I hate marketing. I hate it with a passion. I hate it. Okay.
Yes, most people do. Yes.
But I had come to realize that if you don't tell the world about yourself, they will never know.
Ooh, you just hit a chord, because I hear that so often. And you earlier said there's haters when you're doing well. And sometimes even our cultures, right, our society says you're not supposed to brag about yourself. You're not supposed to say. But how are you supposed to let people know what you do well, right?
Natalie, I've been to several seminars, and they say that's for people with jobs.
Thank you. Corporate America, very different.
That's for people with jobs. You're not supposed to brag on yourself when you work with somebody else. But when you out in here and you're on your own and you're trying to grow a business and you're trying to grow anything, you have to let the world know that you exist and you're the best at it.
Right.
And if they want to have the best, they can only call you.
Right.
And but now the catch is when they book you, you got to prove it.
There you go. So for someone that's starting out, or maybe they've been in business for years and they're ready to throw in the towel because it's not doing so well. What helped you build your confidence? Because I'm sure there was times when you're like, I don't know how to do this, or what do I do with this? What helped you prepare yourself as much as you could and then be able to maneuver when something went wrong?
Whenever I could, I didn't allow myself to get stressed out. Okay? Everybody has what they call the fight or flight syndrome.
Yes.
Okay? Some people get stressed out and they run. Some people get stressed out and they fight. Okay? I learned to ignite the fight side of me. Okay? I'm not running. I ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. My club is on the corner of Avalon and El Segundo. Okay? And some people, although it hasn't had a problem in 30 years, some people will not come there. I don't market to them.
Right. You know your target. You know your market. You know what people like.
There are people that love, they're from the neighborhood, they're from the community. I have to create entertainment that the people in the community can appreciate. Okay? And some people, I don't really go to the Avalon or that area. Okay, fine.
That's fine.
Stay on the west side. Okay?
Yes.
And I've been ridiculed by other promoters. Oh, man, you're in Hollywood. Why don't you move to Hollywood? I control where I am.
You're the big fish in a small pond, and that's the smart move, too.
I'm the big fish. Y'all not coming over here, and he ain't kicking me out.
Right.
Okay, the owner ain't kicking me out, and y'all ain't going to give me no competition because I'm right over here in my little pond. Okay? Mm-hmm. And that has been probably one of the keys to my success. Get you a niche that you know that you can do that nobody else can do. Because everybody has a special skill.
Right.
Okay? And I find everybody wants to be in the marijuana business. I don't want to be in the marijuana business. Everybody wants to be in the marijuana business. Right. Okay? I might want to be in the marijuana rehab.
There you go, different. Yeah.
Okay? It's always everything has a spinoff to it.
Yes.
And that's the part you have to, that's where the creativity comes in. Every business has a spinoff. Okay?
So you're constantly looking at what you know well. You are capitalizing on that as well. But you're also looking at the next step, the bigger picture of growing your company, growing it in different avenues. You just said having an eye to expand somewhere else. And you happen to do that not just in music, in the clubs that you've been part of, the groups that you've made pretty much, but you're also taking it into new ventures and different areas that maybe you're not so good in, but you're smart enough to know that there is a market for that. We live in Los Angeles. For those that are in New York or in Texas or, Chicago hearing this, they're like, well, my area is so saturated with this, yet I want to do this. Well, you were smart enough to say, you know what? You're not saying don't do it. You're just saying find an area that doesn't have what you can do well, right?
The guy told me one time, give people what they need, and they'll always need you.
Thank you. And, that's something you have obviously done well with, and I'm sure you've probably given that same advice to people that are starting out or reinventing themselves. You managed to go into something else that not only helps anyone out there that wants to become the next millionaire, that wants to be the next music producer, but you managed to put this out in a book. So you're a published author, which is huge.
Something I thought I would never do. So
there we go. That adds up to my next question, which definitely you must read this book, NWA, but it's not Without Alonzo. And I think learning from your memoirs, your experience, people will not only learn more about but really how you have influenced our music culture. The next question, I think that's just kind of, because you happen to be the type of person that is always looking for the future or looking towards the future because there's so many endless opportunities there. When you wrote this book, you said you never thought about being an author, never thought maybe you couldn't do it. What made you do it, and What made you think I'm going to still try it?
Because my goal is to be a professional speaker.
Ah, okay. So that's an additional. I like that.
See,
Okay.
I like running my mouth. I like telling my history. I enjoy traveling. Being a professional speaker give me all of that.
Yes.
Okay. I still perform with my group, World Class Wrecking Crew, but I demand more money as a speaker than I do on stage. Okay. Yes. And in the pursuit of becoming a professional speaker, you have a book. Everybody asks, you have a book? You have a book? You have a book? No. Well, would you get it? You know, we usually, like dealing with published authors.
Right.
And I went to a few seminars. And don't be afraid to go to a seminar or go to a class, because some things you don't know.
Exactly. There's a lot of things
it might cost you $50, it might cost you $100 to sit there and talk to a professional.
Yes.
Okay. And I went to a few of them. Most of them, a couple of them were free, but a couple of them cost. And they all said the same thing. To be a professional speaker, you have to have a book. You have to have, it has to be a big book.
Yes.
You have to be published. And because today's system of publishing has changed so much, you self-publish.
Thank you. You hit a point where a lot of people are now self-publishing because maybe they've been turned down from the market that says, oh, it's not needed, but they know it is. So you were smart enough to do that as well. You're like, you know what? I'm going to get published. I'm going to already provide an additional supplement to my speaking engagements. Right. You give them that information. And you say it doesn't even have to be, hello, this is how this podcast came to be. My book is under 20 minutes. You can read it under 20. Your book gives people that opportunity to get to know you before you even show up to speak, right? So you're now creating earned income as well, but passive income, you don't even have to be there, right? And for those that are like, what's passive income? It's having this income that comes to you without you having to actually be there.
I call it mailbox money.
Ooh, mailbox. Oh, yes. I like that.
We had to stop this podcast. I'm waiting on some mailbox money right now. Okay.
That's how you want to be living large. Exactly. Exactly. Knowing that you don't have to be, maybe you get sick, or maybe you want to tend to your family. Maybe you want to travel, like you said, or be able to create something else. But sometimes if you're stuck at a job or in your business that you don't have passive income, you don't have those opportunities. For you obviously, you had some other mentors as well. And people were asking you for your book already. Is there another mentor that you felt that you were emulating or that you wanted to learn to be more like? Because obviously you're unique in your own way, and you have that. But was there someone influential?
I tell people I am a gumbo of various mentors. In your language, maybe menudo. I'm a menudo.
Oh, I like that, menudos, of course.
I'm a menudo of various mentors. One of my dad was my mentor. Man, be honest with people. You ain't got to lie to nobody.
I like that.
Because as a kid, I tried lying.
Right.
It's too hard to lie. It's just too hard.
They find out later.
And then you forget. Okay?
Yes.
The owner of the club, he gave me a lot of business ideas. He told me, man, he's the one that told me, give people what they need. They always need you. When I left there, I moved to Dudos, the spot you saw in the movie. Okay. And he taught me how to be a distributor. Okay, he told me how to sell my own product, how to market my own product. He had a record company.
Yeah.
I left there and I met a young lady. She took me home to meet her dad. Her dad was an independent record promoter.
Wow.
And he taught me how to sell records nationally.
Wow.
So everybody gave me a little bit of something.
Yes.
And that's why I tell people it's so important for young people to talk to older people.
Yes.
But you have to make yourself approachable and teachable.
Ooh, teachable is key.
Okay?
Yes.
You can't know everything. If you know everything, you'd have something to show for it.
Thank you.
Find somebody who's doing what you want to do, who has done what you like to do, and just talk to them.